The Bay Area's rock station. 107.7 The Bone.
107.7 The Bone, that is Sepultura, Roots, Bloody Roots. I'm Nikki Blakk, and in the studio with me, choosing the playlist tonight, Mr. Jason Newsted of Voivod.
Man.
And Voivod Infini is the new album. We are going to play a song from it actually in just a little bit.
Yep, and the Sepultura is so incredible.
Now, you've worked with Andreas and with Igor, right?
Yeah, and yeah, there's a record, let's see, did one song on the Against album with them, where I played, what did I play, six-string guitar or something? Six-string bass, I mean? Yeah, that's right, baritone guitar, same difference. Yeah, same difference, yeah. But we recorded at the Chop House, so that's how close it was. They came and stayed for a few days, and we rocked out, and that came of it, so. But played a lot of music with Andreas over time. Done real projects with him, that we released to people and all that kind of stuff. So Andreas is one of my very, very favorite people.
So how do you feel about Andreas carrying on Sepultura without Max and Igor now?
I don't think it's, no matter how much I love Andreas, I don't think it's proper for Sepultura to go without the Caballeros, one or the other. I would rather have it with both. But if we can't have that, then I really don't think we should have anything. I'm interested to hear Andreas' solo album, however, because he's very talented.
Because that would kind of be what the Sepultura album is now, right?
He has a new record out that's a double album, and I think it's, I haven't heard anything from it yet, but I know from recording him for a lot of times that he just has a lot. He has a very deep well. He's very talented.
So you've worked with just a ton of people over the last, pretty much since you left Metallica. It's been, 9 years, I think, now. And then you did have to do a couple of years with Ozzy, so you probably didn't get a lot of time to work on other projects. But in the last, 7 years, could you even count how many projects you've worked on?
No, it's a lot, but I produced some stuff and then did some different, live, like Government Mule, did live shows with Government Mule and did recordings with Government Mule and that stuff. So that was its own flavor of things. And produced a Speed Dealer album, produced these kids from Berkeley, the Moss Brothers, back in the day.
Oh, this is the young kids, right?
Yeah.
Now they're 20 now, right?
Yeah, one's a lawyer and one's on his way to Harvard or something, so that's where that's at now, yeah.
I guess it's a good thing they got that music bug out of their system, huh?
And some other, all through DJ Shadow, and Sepul and Voivod, Supernova. A lot of stuff now that we started picking at it like that. Yeah,
what's been kind of what sticks out as your favorite? Or just most enjoyable at this point?
Yeah, I think the honor of being in Voivod is pretty hard to beat. That just because I looked up them for so long, and their musicianship and me being able to keep up with them and them saying so, pretty big deal to me, actually, as a player. So, because they were always kind of unreachable, unattainable, their complexity of their music, and so getting in there with them to actually create that complexity, that was quite, really, a privilege, and I still feel that way about it. I've been fortunate enough to have 3 different times where I got to do a thing where my heroes became my peers and my bandmates. So Metallica is the first obvious one, and that ran for 15 years and went to the mountain and a few times back down and back up again. And then Ozzy, that was an absolute, that's the teacher of all teachers. So between him and Geezer and Tony Iommi and Bill Ward, those are my first 4 teachers, period, to want to play music. So being in his band was beyond a hero. And then being in Voivod, that's heroes also, and becoming their mate now, and all that. That's really something. I feel very fortunate for all that stuff. So karmatic, man, karmatic.
Is it kind of hard when you've reached not only every goal you've ever set for yourself, but goals that you didn't even think about have been reached? What do you wake up in the morning and go, oh, you know what I should do?
You kind of got me there, because that is a difficult thing. It really is, because everything else has to compare to it. And, like Brian from Echo Brain says, dude, don't got to worry about it. All you got to do is just don't do anything for the rest of your life that means anything. Don't worry about it. Thanks, perfect. Not going to quite work like that, but it's pretty hard. That's kind of why I don't want to do so much the business part and the competition part and all that kind of thing, because climbing up that giant mountain again and all that I don't think that can happen again. Not very many people get 2 chances for a phenomenon.
And how did you connect with the Voivod guys in the first place?
Well, we've been friends for years and years. We started playing music together in '88, so that's been 20 years in itself as making the music. But we both of our first, Flotsam and Jetsam's first album was on Metal Blade Records. The first Voivod records were on Metal Blade Records. We were vying for the same attention. We were vying for the same dollar, the same gigs, and all that stuff in the early years. So we always were, in Flotsam, were quite jealous of Voivod, actually. We would look at pictures of them and go, those guys really belong together. Look at them. They really look like they belong together. They're a gang, the Iron Gang, And it was true. And because of where they came from, anything in our world and culture and all that thing, the best stuff, we know it, has always been created out of necessity, right? And Voivod lived 200 miles north of Montreal in the ice, and they had to build their own guitars and build their own amps out of their mom's stereo system, and all these kind of, for real, in order to have something to play and to create the sound that became Voivod. It was all from their stuff they built. Piggy built his first guitar himself when he was 14.
That's just
virtuoso
unfathomable.
by 20.
Yeah.
So
because there's no Guitar Center up there.
there's not even Pierre's guitar shop.
That's just way beyond uphill in the snow. Had to walk both ways.
Right. Yeah, and they did. So
On
it
top
was
of
ice.
that, his first guitar was carved out of ice.
That's right, the warriors of ice. But that's why it is what it is, and has lasted as long as it lasted. Voivod has actually playing together longer than Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax, any of them that you name that we've played on this show or you've played on this show, other than Sabbath and them. Voivod has been around longer than
and even
any
Sabbath
of the
had to take kind of a roundabout way there.
That's true.
So
yep.
Wow.
Yes, so give them props where props are due. The most underrated metal band of all time, in my opinion.
We are busting out a little Caius tune that you've picked out.
Oh, yes.
And then we are going to do the new Voivod.
Oh, beautiful.
It's 107.7 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone.
107.7 The Bone.
Streaming online at 1077thebone.com.